bring up to the right level.
By special request, a second reading from Freddy the
Encore!
Detective, in which Freddy explains his solution to the puzzle. See here, Jinx, I'll show you just how I solved the case. Here's the first clue I discovered. We'll call it Exhibit A. What do you make of that? There were some scratches on the white paint of the windowsill, and in several of them were traces of green paint. Jinx looked at them, sniffed of them, and said, "Ah, just so," because he couldn't think of anything else to say. That doesn't mean anything to you? Asked Freddy. Yes, quite, said Jinx hastily. Green paint, very significant. I'm glad you follow me, said Freddy. Now for Exhibit B. And he took Jinx over to the bed and showed him half a dozen very fine, very short, dark gray hairs on the pillow. Jinx looked at the hairs, but when he sniffed at them, he sniffed so hard that he blew them onto the floor. Hey, shouted Freddy, be a little careful, can't you? You're destroying the evidence. We need those for our case. Case of what, measles? Said the cat contemptuously. Say, look here, Freddy, are you trying to kid me or are you just plain silly? You talk about those little old gray hairs and that green paint as if you'd found a pitcher of cream. If this is all there is to your detective business, I'm going. I know lots of better ways of having fun than... Oh, wait a minute, exclaimed the pig. Gosh, Jinx, I thought you understood what it meant. You said you did. Look here. Those cars in the train are painted green, aren't they? Well, what does that paint mean then? It means that the cars rubbed on the windowsill when the thief was taking them out of the window last night, doesn't it? I see what you're getting at, said Jinx. All right, went on Freddy. Now, what kind of hairs were those I showed you? Those hairs? I don't know, just hairs. Oh, use a little sense. Were they Ella's or Mrs. Bean's? No, of course not. Hairs like that, well, I suppose they might be cat hairs. Where is there a gray cat in this neighborhood? Asked Freddy. Mice then, said Jinx. No, he added, they're too coarse for mouse hairs, but... Rats, he exclaimed suddenly. By George, they're rat hairs, Freddy. Well, of all the nerve. Jinx was really very much upset, for the presence of a rat in the house was against all the rules. When Jinx had first come to the farm several years earlier, there had been a family of rats living in the house and several of them in the barn. When Jinx had ordered them out, they had just laughed at him, but Jinx was a brave and stalwart cat and a fierce fighter, and after several battles, in which the rats had got much the worst of it, they had met him one night under a flag of truce, and had agreed that if he would let them alone, they would all move down into the woods and would not enter either house or barn again. Until now, they had kept the agreement.